Welcome to the final Friday Night Insights of the year, and we have just as many teams to talk about as we did last week because they all won state semis.
Indeed.
These are the adornments of the Metamora Redbirds, courtesy of Sally McKee, mother of starting linebacker Sean, and that includes the cowbell, of course.
I thought I was going to get to do that. I was robbed.
We did that last week, but then we had technical difficulties and they just sort of evaporated.
Yeah.
But Friday, whenever you're seeing this, Friday morning, 10 o'clock, Stark starts it off with, they play sort of the rest of the state in terms of words. We won't even try to say that.
Yeah.
But
the western half of West Central Illinois, that's who they're taking on.
It ends in Chambersburg. And what's the story? Are we going to sell this team short again? Or
we keep doing it, and they're not upset about it either. I mean, Scott Paxton has a long-standing belief that as long as I pick against them, they're going to take it home. So
what's funny is I think week one I started my little Scott Paxton thing. I'm like, I can't pick against Stark County.
Yeah.
But I did last week though.
But we did last week, and they proved us wrong. It's funny. They're facing basically the exact same team that they have for the last 4 weeks. I mean, the game plan doesn't change. She said, Jade Nord said the scouting report literally has not changed more than maybe a few lines. And they're going to face another back, David Arendt, I forget how it's pronounced, who's run for 1,744 yards, 25 touchdowns. So if they can keep it up and stop another running attack, and I have every reason to believe they can with Luke Turnbull and that defensive line, I think they're in for good things.
Yeah, Stark County feels like one of those weird, they almost feel like a 2 or 3A team playing in 1A. I mean,
yeah.
They have a few losses, which usually you see up at the higher levels, getting to title games, and they have a big 6'5" receiver, and they're balanced, and they throw, and these 1A teams probably are not used to seeing that sort of.
You look at that size. I mean, I go out to those practices, and I'm constantly looking up. My neck hurts when I get home. I mean, it's from the only kid I've ever been able to look in the eye is Luke Turnbull. Otherwise, I'm looking up.
We got to talk about that semifinal win. They're down 18-0, and they're 99 yards away.
Yeah, and said.
Wow. And then dominated. I mean,
and just from the minute he hit Lewis on that Greg Dahm hit Calvin Lewis on that 34-yard pass, he said it was just on. I mean, the kids knew that we still had a lot of football left to play, and we could pull this out. So it's kind of weird that both our semifinals were like that. Both teams just facing certain death and somehow live to fight another day.
What about a pick in this Stark game?
I'm taking Stark.
He's going with Stark. I'm gonna continue my trend of picking against Stark and take Triopia.
Tell them, not me.
I'm gonna take Triopia.
Okay.
It's all ploy.
I'm all Stark because I just get to say that and nobody keeps my record. I think I'm 500.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Okay.
Around
Speaking of beautiful semifinal wins, 30 seconds left. You throw a fade.
Corner out.
Corner out, and you're
to a
Illini West, and the lead changes, and you win. You go to state.
Absolutely, just an incredible game, incredible atmosphere.
Fuzz Burgess.
Fuzz Burgess. I've actually got pictures of that if you want to see them. How packed that place was. Couldn't have happened to a better kid. Two better kids. I mean, Michael Lafferty, coach's kid. Great story in and of itself. Read more about him in Friday's Journal-Star.
Plug.
And then, Zach Burling, who I wrote about last week, whose brother Jacob, who I was fortunate enough to know, passed away, and he just had a monster second half and brought that thing home. Just an incredible turn of events. I mean, I started counting my weekend off before because I was getting text updates from both teams. I was like, oh, we're not going to have anything going this weekend. So.
And it's certainly
go ahead, Wes.
Certainly not surprising that Illini West is here, though. I mean, this is ninth title game
appearance. He's 9-0 in semifinals, something like 4-5 or 4-4 maybe.
Yeah, and Martin, the DuQuoin coach who they're playing, this is his sixth title game appearance.
So there's a lot of experience in this.
I was going to say they play a team that's just consistently really nice. Yep. DuQuoin, they're tough. They're always there. That's a jump ball game, isn't it?
Jump ball game. They've got to shut down A.J. Hill, who might be the best player at these state finals regardless of class.
What?
Class for class. Well, I think you compare them.
I mean,
there's some East St. Louis players.
East St. Louis kids are not, but I mean.
Watched them on TV last week.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys
so did I. I
them
watched them too. Late. It was a replay late.
Okay, we need a pick.
I'm going to go with the Illini West.
Illini West.
I'm going to say DuQuoin just to be
different.
Just to be different. DuQuoin's nice. And now the biggie. Metamora has Wheaton St. Francis. Wes has hinted in his column this morning that Metamora has their way with one Wheaton St. Francis.
Yes, I do.
What's the story?
I don't know, if you were to take sort of like a hybrid of a Washington and a Dunlap and like just give them that swagger of like we don't lose, and that toughness and that sort of just dedicated focus that that teams that win titles have. I think you get Wheaton St. Francis, and I don't think this is their. This almost feels like a step for them. I mean, obviously they won.
Yeah,
they were 3-6 these last 2 years, and now they make a title game. Even though the coach Greg Purnell's won 4 state titles in Iowa in his previous career, I guess, because he stopped for a little bit, and then obviously the Wheaton St. Francis AD was like, this dude's resume crossed his desk, and he's like, you can't tell him no because he wanted to get back into coaching. And in two years at Wheaton, he has him in the title game, but. Like I said, Metamore's is way too much for these guys.
So they're the Tampa Rays. They get to the final, they don't win the final.
Yeah, and it's a cute story to be in the final.
It's going to kick off about 10 a.m. and be over about 11:40 because it's going to be lots of running,
ground and pound.
And that's the only reason why I think he keeps it close. But they're just undersized. Their linebackers average 5'11", 180. Their biggest defensive lineman is 210, while Metamore's offensive front averages 245 across.
A lot of people.
Oh, I'm getting cold flashes with Wheaton combined with small size. That was LP's big choke in '79 when I was a freshman with Chuck Long and Wheaton Norris.
Well, we were saying these things last year though when they played Morris.
Yeah.
So, and they're similar to. I just feel like, unlike Morris, Wheaton doesn't step onto the field at Memorial and feel like they can't lose. Well, Morris does that. And Morris has that little intangible
Morris
that Metamora
swagger that Metamora has.
Metamora pulls that out when they're playing the Dunlaps and the Washingtons and the Cantons, and they have the black helmets, and the kids just like, oh no, it's Metamora.
Yeah.
Morris had that.
Is it a vampire thing? What if they show him crosses?
He goes showing the birds. Like, oh no.
I know. Coach Ryan spoke to that too and said, let's get off it. I like that. That was good.
Yeah.
In the same column. So we're saying about 45-20 birds or no 20?
35-14 is my thing. Where it's 21-7, 21-14 through the bulk, and then Metamora just wears them down late. Because they got 7 two-way players, Wheaton does.
Yeah,
oh, trouble.
That's dead.
Everything you're saying. Yeah. How the heck have they won? By getting Kankakee in a semi,
right? Anytime you get Kankakee, you just go, all right,
God
we're taking this thing home.
Yeah.
Internet's universal. We'll be getting calls from all over.
It's that same area, Clifton, I mean, we're not very
us.
popular on that side of the state.
4 o'clock party at the school. If this happens, I don't want to make them cocky.
It's happening anyway.
Yeah.
Win or lose.
Well, I know, but
really big party at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
They win.
East St. Louis in 7.
Yeah.
Whoever's playing Hinsdale in 8. Was it Downers?
Main South.
Main South.
Main South.
Charlie Goro, the Vandy recruit.
Anything else?
That'll be a tough game. BCC.
Oh yeah, the
BCC
2-13-0s. Outstanding little game.
Yeah, that's going to be one to watch Friday night at 7. The Jordan Roberts kid.
Yeah, good nightcap. Like that. 7 and 8 games.
I'll be hunched over a laptop trying to keep track of that one at that point.
We thank you for being with us today and all season, and good luck to all our teams. And that's about it. You know, it's all in the paper. We'll have a huge array of photos and video from the Metamora game and from all the games. And we'll be telling you about it live if you can't be there. Bye-bye.